Thank you very much.
And join with me, please. You get your kicks where you can. I have so much I want to share with you today. First of all, I want to thank Phil for selecting that song because it's going to really go into what we're going to do today. First, let me preface everything by saying that this is the time of year that you're probably going to be uncomfortable. Either you're going to be too cold or too hot in here. So there's blankets around if you get cold. If you get too hot, we'll do what we can to adjust the temperature. So we try to keep it moderate, but just know that it's just going to not be good. You know, it's an old building and we do the best we can. So, you know, if you're wearing sleeveless, you might want to bring a shawl with you or find a blanket. If you get cold, look for one. They're everywhere. That's one thing. I want to tell you about a breakthrough I had this week. You may not have known, but I have been stuck. Have you ever been stuck? Stuck. And I knew I was stuck and couldn't help being stuck. Couldn't unstuck myself. So when you're stuck, all you can do is just stick with it. Because the only way out is through. And you just go, okay, I'm stuck. I kind of knew where I wanted to go, but getting from here to there wasn't happening. Wasn't happening. And I had to figure out what I was stuck about. And I thought what I was stuck about was this, but in fact I was stuck about something totally different. But I didn't know till I kept looking at it and looking at it and looking at it from a different perspective. And so my stuck was, I've been doing psychic stuff and classes for 25 years. And I couldn't do it the same way anymore. Couldn't move forward. Couldn't do it the same way I'd done it. So I was stuck. And so being stuck is just, it rhymes with suck for a reason. So along with that came stress, came confusion, came self-doubt, all those things that we feel. So guess what? Health issues flared. Oh joy. So now I'm stuck and I feel bad. There's no fun in that. So just kept looking at things and looking at things, and I'm working on a process to share with you about how to unstick when you're stuck. So that should be fun. But I got unstuck, and what I got unstuck about was I realized that the real hang-up for me was I was under the assumption of a childhood belief system that no longer served. And the childhood belief system that was running and prevalent in my life, I thought it was that I just didn't know where I was going or whatever, I don't know. But what the real issue boiled down to was when I was growing up, I chose to be invisible so that I didn't have to hurt. In my family, growing up with a rageaholic dad, you just stayed low and stayed under the radar and don't get noticed. And if you don't get noticed, you don't get in trouble. If you don't get in trouble, you don't get a whipping. If you don't get a whipping, life is much better. I don't know if you can relate to that or not. But that program was running, and it was keeping me from stepping into the next level up. Because if I step into the next level up, I'm going to be more visible. And I didn't realize that was freaking me out. So all this accomplishment behind me, and I was like, well, this is the next logical step, and I'm ready to do that, and I see myself doing that, but I couldn't get there until I addressed this issue that was underlying everything, and it had created an energetic construct from which I was running, and that energetic construct no longer served. Now, when I was a child, it served me well, kept me safe, kept me from feeling totally beat up, literally and figuratively. But that doesn't serve me anymore, and I was ready to let that go. And I could let it go once I saw it. Once I observed it, it was like, gone, dissipated. So it's a matter of figuring out what is underneath all of the structure that we create for ourselves. So when I looked at that and I realized that that's where I was going to go, I had an appointment. My first appointment in a new state of mind was yesterday. And I had told myself, okay, there are plenty of people who do readings, and I think that's wonderful, and that's what I've done for 25 years. But now I want to work with people who are on a spiritual path and want to develop spiritually. So if that's what you want, I'm the gal for you. If that's not what you want, I will refer you on. So this gal, I'd already had the appointment set, and I'd seen her for years. So she comes in and sits down, and I'm like, I don't know what I can do here. This is hard on me. I'm not sure what to do. You can go this way. We don't care. It takes a tribe. Bye. See ya. Stage stealer. But she's so cute. So this client was sitting across the table from me, and I'd been praying about this, and it's like, God, I'm just stuck, and I don't know what to do. I don't know how to change my clientele. I can't just tell people to go away, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so she comes in and sits down. She says, well, Janice, I want a different session than we've ever had before. I think the root of my issues is spiritual, and I'd really like to look at the spiritual root of my life and look at that and see if we can't create a healing from that. And this person had been in a religion and had been in a really tough childhood, and so the word God freaked her out, because God to her meant this vindictive, vengeful, hateful, punishing God. And she says, I just can't go there. So we did some other things. We did some healing process. I gave her homework. It was so much fun. And I thought, yes, this is what it's all about. And she went away happy and empowered and thinking, oh, maybe there's hope for me. And yes, I just love this. So then she, as soon as I got home, I returned a phone call. Somebody else wanting an appointment. So they said, you want an appointment? And I thought, okay. Can I ask you a question? And they said, sure. And I said, what kind of session would you like? You want just some information? You just want some counseling, some guidance kind of things? If you do, then let me know. I'm moving into an arena where I'm wanting to work with people on a spiritual path so they can improve themselves spiritually. She says, oh, that's just what I want. So as soon as I became unstuck, the universe started sending me people. So up until then, my phone had been pretty quiet or whatever, but I find it very interesting that my stuckness was pervasive in everything that I was doing. Since being unstuck with that, clean the house, rearrange furniture, it's been crazy. So being stuck sucks the energy right out of us, doesn't it? So our process today, I want to walk you through a Healing Sunday process. And the process today is to help you help something else get unstuck. And in that way, that's going to help you get unstuck. What I want us to do is there's been a lot of death. The Boston bombings, how many people what is the total on that? Do we know, Boston bombings? I know more people were injured than were killed, but there were still quite a few that were killed. And then the Texas 14 to 15 and out there for the explosion there. And then Bangladesh had a huge amount of people that had perished in that. Say again? Earthquakes in China. Okay, so there's been a lot of death. Now here's the deal. I don't know what your religious belief is. I'm only going to tell you from a practical, energetic standpoint of what I see. And what I see is that when people pass, people cross, when their spirit that is eternal leaves their physical form, the light opens and they go. Sometimes religion has beaten into us that we're not worthy, we're not good enough. And so there's a lot of people that don't look for the light, or they have unfinished business, or they're in pain, and that restricts that. The light opens, but they just don't see it because they're caught up in whatever they're experiencing. So when we can help them see the light as it has opened, they can then cross over. Okay, does that make sense to us? So we're going to help people do that. And as we help people do that, that's going to help us move forward as well. Now, I want to give you some coaching on this because this is a form of astral travel. We're going to go to those places, and you can pick whichever place you want to go. And I want you to be careful not to see the pain, okay? Because there's a lot of empathic people in here. I don't want you to take on the pain. That was done, that was then, and this is now. So I want you to go to that space with this astral travel we're going to do, and we're going to hover outside of that. So I don't want you to get close enough to see anything, because you don't need to. You don't need to experience that pain, okay? Some of you probably already have heard about it and were agonized by that, okay? So that's enough pain for you. You don't need that. At the same time, I want us to be of assistance, of help, because sometimes people need help seeing the light and moving on, all right? Now, there's a couple of rules. I don't do rules really well, but I got a couple of rules. Never go in alone. Never let them see you sweat. Okay? So we're going to go together. We're going to call angels. And never let them see you sweat. Don't take fear with you. If you're afraid and uncomfortable with this, don't do it. Twiddle your fingers. Get out a video game. Play with something. You know, I don't care. If you feel safe, and this is a safe space. The Divine Fellowship is a room, the sanctuary has been blessed. There are crystals in every corner of this entire building, and crystals out on the outside of the perimeter of the land even, that hold a sacred space for us. We've also installed an energy waterfall in the front door as you came in. So people will walk in and go, oh, it feels wonderful in here. That's because all the crap got left behind. Okay? And we collect stuff. You know, we have the energy field that surrounds our body all the way around. If I walk past someone in the grocery store and they're worried and they're frightened and they're stressed, I'm going to suck that up. Because it's clutter. It's like dust. It gets everywhere. And I have to consciously keep myself clear. All clear. I got to get myself clear. So it's important to be clear and go in with this willing heart of willing service, because when you do, you're good, okay? You're safe, you're protected. This space is protected. Your soul is protected. So we're going to go through astral travel, we're going to go to this place. You don't have to have ever been there before. You can just go in your imagination. And maybe to you it doesn't even look like that. Maybe it just looks like a highway. You'll go where you're needed, where you spiritually are asked to go, okay? And you're going to take an angel with you. Then once we get there, or an angel's going to take you, I think that's probably more of an accurate statement. Once we get there, then we're going to call angels. We're going to see the clouds open. Have you ever seen like a cloud open and then a ray of sunshine? Okay, that's what I want you to visualize. It may not look like that in reality, but that's what I'd like you to visualize. So this cloud opens, light comes down, and ask angels from the other side to come. And you'll see a whole herd of angels come. It's just so cool. And then start helping people. Oh, look, there's the light. Go to the light. Go to the light. Help them journey to the light, if you will. And then we'll do that process for a bit. And then we'll withdraw ourselves from that, leaving a blessing. And we'll leave a blessing and angels there for anybody else that maybe not ready to cross over yet, but we'll leave angels there to assist them when they're ready. Does that make sense to you? All right.